The FIRE movement has attracted many Americans attempting to take control of their early retirement, but it's not for everyone. So what does FIRE stand for anyway? FIRE stands for the Financial Independence Retire Early Movement, and it puts an emphasis on saving and investing at least 50% of your income in order to enable early retirement before the age of 60. Once your savings are sufficient to pay for your post-retirement needs while taking inflation into account, you've completed the FIRE process. Now, FIRE aims to give investors financial independence so they can decide how to spend their spare time. Working part-time, taking less pay to pursue a career you love, or not working at all can all be examples of freedom. According to a recent Vanguard Digital Advisor poll, 22% of millennials intend to retire before the age of 60. The FIRE process. When using FIRE to retire early, individuals substantially cut their spending, looking for ways to grow their income and invest the money they save in a variety of tax-advantaged and non-tax-advantaged accounts. Though not everyone can afford the cost of early retirement, it frequently involves reducing spending to the absolute minimum in order to have more money to invest. Saving 50% or more of their income is not always feasible. Some people can't live as simply because they have families or children, for example. The 4% and 25 rules. FIRE advocates frequently take into account both the 4% rule and the 25 rule. According to the rule of 25, you must save 25 times your annual costs in order to retire. Multiplying your monthly spending by 12 will give you your annual expenses, which you can then use to get this number. Your FIRE number, or the sum you'll need to retire, is then calculated by multiplying that annual expense by 25. Some people look into ways to raise their income if a FIRE amount appears overly ambitious before investing the additional funds. According to the 4% rule, retirees can withdraw 4% of their savings in the first year, and if necessary, adjust for inflation in subsequent years without running out of money. If you intend to retire sooner than 30 years from now, the 4% guideline may not be suitable for you. Use caution when taking advice intended for the general public, particularly when determining a FIRE number. As with any financial advice, there's no such thing as a one-size-fits-all approach. An appropriate savings rate. Consider how much you will need to save and invest each year to achieve your objective of early retirement. Figure out a savings rate that matches the speed at which you want to go. Compound growth equals magic. You probably wouldn't be able to live off real cash in a bank account for the next 40 years due to inflation. Compound growth, however, makes it possible for you to plan for retirement by saving and making investments in tax-advantaged retirement plans. IRAs and 401ks are good instances of retirement accounts where you can save money. Roth IRAs have an upfront tax requirement, but tax-free investment growth and tax-free retirement withdrawals. Despite the fact that withdrawals from traditional IRAs and 401ks are taxed, you can still take advantage of tax-free growth and compounding returns. What if all of your retirement funds are at their maximum balances? What area do you save and invest in next? Well, put money into a standard brokerage account. You can continue to add to that indefinitely. Your level of risk tolerance will determine what investments you should make. Aggressive investment is necessary, but everyone has a different definition of what that entails. Tax strategies. How much money will you need between your target retirement age and the age you may begin taking withdrawals from your retirement accounts without incurring penalties, which is typically about 59 and a half years old? This is an important question to consider while developing your investment tax strategy. Once you have a figure, you might think about saving that sum in your standard brokerage account. This will prevent you from running out of money before you can begin drawing qualified distributions from your retirement accounts should you decide to retire early. When you make a withdrawal from a standard brokerage account, Uncle Sam still gets a cut of your earnings, but there are no early withdrawal fees. Taxes must be paid on dividends, interest, and sale of investments that are worth more than the original investment. There's no way to avoid paying taxes. FIRE varieties. Some individuals think FIRE means you shouldn't indulge. However, there are several types of FIRE. Some are just more intense than others. Popular FIRE methods include the following variations: lean FIRE, fat FIRE, and barista FIRE. Lean FIRE means those who can survive on very little and who adhere to minimalist lifestyles. To get there more quickly, they can set aside more than 50% of their income. Adopting the lean FIRE strategy would be compelling for those who don't necessarily want to go to work every day. Fat FIRE investors want to save a lot of money in order to enjoy themselves in retirement. For instance, you'll need to accumulate and invest more money than someone who expects to live on $70,000 if you currently make $200,000 per year and want to continue doing so in retirement. Barista Fire participants don't necessarily want to quit their jobs. Instead, they want to save enough to retire, but only work part-time or less. Barista Fire investors achieve this by saving enough money that they are able to support their lifestyles without having to work extremely hard. Some followers are drawn to Barista Fire because it allows them to concentrate on work that is important to them. Fire limitations. Although early retirement may seem enticing, it is not a good idea for everyone and comes with hazards. For example, if you quit working, you'll be responsible for paying your own medical bills until Medicare begins to pay for them around the age of 65, and your investment decisions might not do as well as you expected. One of those outcomes could require you to increase your withdrawal rate or to return to the workforce. In order to achieve FIRE, you must become frugal with your spending. If your income is insufficient to meet both of your basic necessities and your aggressive savings goals for an early retirement, FIRE may not be for you. Other barriers to FIRE include a lack of an emergency reserve or high interest debt. So, consider the FIRE method for you. Is this vision what you're looking for? Are you a lean FIRE type of person, fat FIRE type of person, or barista FIRE type of person? Or maybe it's not right for you. But thinking about and envisioning the future that you want is crucial to making it happen.